Through the audio presets on the Baldwin Fun Machine to see what we have going on here. Okay, we're going to start off with the flute. Now you may hear some distortion and kind of a hissing sound as I'm playing. I'm not sure whether that is a functional failure, which it might be because this is from 1974 and I don't know if it's ever been serviced. Obviously, there's a lot of noise coming out of it that we're probably hearing right now, unless I found a way to EQ it out of there. But yeah, it's pretty messy. So when you hear sort of a distortion or a hiss, I'm not sure what that is. It diminishes as we go higher, so I don't know. Still, you can hear the timbre, so that's what we're listening to. And of course, we can always add vibrato. Benefits of having top octave divide is we can get big, huge chords like that. All right, let's move on to the accordion, a perennial favorite. And you can hear the sort of the paraphonic nature of the Baldwin Fun Machine, because if we hold a note, which has sort of an attack to it, a slower attack like an accordion, if you hold a note, every subsequent note is just on or off because you've already activated the envelope. So this is true paraphony. Is it just me, or is there like a pulse width modulation thing going on in there? Might just be chorusing from the different notes not being in perfect tune, but still, it sounds really cool. Let's see vibrato. You can't do vibrato on an accordion. But really, if you weren't watching me play this on an organ and you were just hearing this in a song, you wouldn't be like, oh, that's an organ. You know, because it is a synthesizer in the sense that we're not talking tone wheels. We're talking about, waveform making technology. There's also all kinds of filters in here that are making these tones sound this way. Anyway, that's the accordion. Let's listen to the trumpet, which I happen to know has some filtering going on. Not too bad, actually, for an analog emulation of a trumpet. It's kind of amazing. The sad thing is that the vibrato knob only gives you this one vibrato. And obviously, different instruments have different types of vibrato. Often it's just actually more like tremolo. And also certainly different speeds. But this is the speed you get with the LFO on the Fun Machine, which pitch LFO. Now, you might notice these are kind of nasal sounds, and I know a lot of people don't associate sort of nasal sounds with synthesizers. They want everything to have a full round sound, a sawtooth wave or a square wave. Now, if you have a more powerful synthesizer, you can certainly generate, band passy or, really pulse width modulated to the point where you've got a very, very narrow square wave in there, which isn't square anymore, rectangular wave, pulse wave. I always encourage people to make use of these timbres that are less, standard, oh yeah, big, huge, these sort of nasal timbres. It's why the orchestra has, an oboe in it. You need to cover these frequency ranges. And these are very cool. There are synthesizers that sound like this. Actually, this is what the Hammond Nova chord really excels at. Anyway, here is the Vibraharp. It seems to have that same sort of distortion going on as the flute did, probably because it's using the same waveform. So it may be just a flaw. You'll notice that the Vibraharp is one of the few sounds that has a sort of release stage. You'd be forgiven for saying, now that's a totally organ sound. But if you use it not like an organ, it doesn't sound like an organ. Let's hear it with some vibrato. Anyhow, these sound super analog to me, and I think that's one of the things I love about them. And you may say, well, yeah, all transistorized organs are analog, Mark, get over it. But really, because this has such a non-organ feel to it, although it does have certainly organ elements, but because it has a filter in it, these are analog tone. I mean, this is analog tone that you will not find in polyphonic synths later, because this is messy, early polyphonic tone. It's the good stuff. Let's listen to the guitar. This is where I wish that the the minor track over here was actually a pitch ribbon, so we could do slides with the guitar. But come on, Mark. Anyway. That's the guitar. Do we need a vibrato on the guitar? It makes it sound more synthesizer-like and not actually organ-like. And that's the thing about these. They just have these, I don't know. Maybe I haven't played enough transistorized organs. It gives you the experience of playing feeling like you're playing a weird vintage synthesizer instead of you sitting at a big organ with tabs and everything. Maybe that's part of it, is that this aesthetic experience leads you to feel like you're actually playing a synthesizer and not an organ. Oh, yeah, are you hearing the re-triggering of the higher note? Yeah, we're totally in paraphonic land. And again, these things are kind of cool. I mean, yeah, that's the thing about paraphonic stuff. It doesn't play like you expect it to play, but if you take advantage of the things that it does, you're going to get some interesting outcomes.